We have some very interesting topics listed for today. Yeah, very interesting, also very thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first topic we have is, the government is considering to implement a new law to punish child defilers with castration. Mwalishwa castration. Nish.
Kukutenani mndara. Chosa seti
Kujuba.
Wakutenani mchakwasi kuti. Sampo wafume.
So that's our first topic for today. That's something that is in consideration. Let me just read from the actual article. So this is on the Radio Phoenix page. Okay? It reads, government considers new law to punish child defilers with chemical castration and harsh penalties for women. Okay? By Nelson Zulu. Community Development and Social Services Minister Doreen Mwamba has disclosed plans to implement a law providing for chemical castration for men and punitive measures for women involved in child defilement and incest. Ms. Mwamba says the law, which aims to curb the rising cases of vices, is expected to come into effect before the end of the year. Oh, so it's quite soon, eh? You know, buddy. Yeah. Okay. She has told Phoenix News that this is part of a broader push to protect children and strengthen penalties for sexual offenses, stressing that community reporting and victim support will be central to the ministry's approach. The minister has pointed to recent reforms, including the Children's Code Act and the establishment of child-friendly courtrooms as foundations of tougher enforcement and faster prosecution. Ms. Mwamba has emphasized that the plans to pursue legislative amendments to criminal law to make certain defilement offenses non-bailable and introduce harsher sentences for perpetrators, such as stripping the private parts for female perpetrators, are meant to strike a balance in resolving such vices. Okay. She has assured that at the end of her tenure as Community Development Minister, Zambia will be sanitized through inculcation of morals that reflect Zambia's Christian national status. Oh. Yeah, so that's interesting, eh?
Very.
Yeah, so they're considering introducing this castration. And this will probably be done. This is like
chemical. Did you say chemical?
Yes, it says chemical castration. I'm not familiar with what chemical castration is.
Yeah.
But we all know the meaning of castration.
Yes, they damage your item, but when they add the chemical, it's also just the curiosity of wondering, like, or maybe do they inject you with something? Like maybe your apparatus just dies, like the nerves are killed or something. But anyway, I'm sure they'll explain any further. But looking at this whole situation, on one hand, let me put it this way. On one hand, I think it's a good measure. Looking at the stories we hear, the brutality and animosity we hear of these cases of defilement. Like the other day, I saw there's an article, a case I saw on social media about this man who had defiled a child, and it's a child should have been between 3 or 5 years old, but the damage that was done to the child was so bad, like it just killed me, man. Like it just broke my heart. Like like why would you do that? So when you look at that harshness and the brutality of what these defilers do to children on a physical and mental level and the spiritual level, it's so evil and vile that one could only think the best way to sort such issues out is also something stiffer and also damaging and physically and mentally to these people.
Yeah.
Because Fibisana Vachitabadiang.
True, man.
You know, that's what the issue is here. So I can see where this has come from, and I think on a certain level, it will definitely curb down on these vices that have, I think, gone on for too long and seem like, you know, the what can I say, the laws or thingies on them are not so strong. You know, you have situations where, like, I think we talked about it last time, one of the podcasts,
Yeah.
where we're talking about how some of these defilement cases are handled, where someone will defile a child, and then they'll approach the family of the child, and you know they
just have a
say,
talk
no,
about
let's
it.
just do
Instead of-
tulansha,
Sebantu.
you know, they pay a figure or something like that,
Yeah.
you know, but the child has still been assaulted, and they've gone through this mental and physical harm. And to have somebody just override all of that with a small payment and a fast
done.
discussion is it's not right.
It's not.
It doesn't serve justice.
Yeah, but the reason why for that, like the way you're saying, most of the times what causes that, it's poverty, of course. If you look at families that are not well to do,
Yeah.
these shanties in this compound, the reason why is someone who have the audacity, even when they've done something bad to your child, you'd find that the family of the child that was involved, like the victim,
Yes.
was like, let's just sit down. Instead of saying I go to prison, let's say we'll pay you a 20. And if they look at their background, they don't have anything.
I see.
So as a reason, they'll just decide, oh, let's sit down. Oh, give us a 20 then. But umuntu na nishna shala, like with the damage. The damage is there. The damage is big. If you remember very well, I think it's last year, where this gentleman is married to 2 wives. And this gentleman, you remember that?
Yes, that case, yes.
You
I
remember that?
Yes, I do.
Like,
I do.
he's married to 2 wives.
Mm-hmm.
Then this dude with the daughter ended up giving the daughter what? HIV and AIDS. And the foolishness with these 2 women, go there, police, trying to bribe the cops. Like, mtichosele kocheva muna watu. Mwana uyo ngati mufuna maboma. You can get the child. Like, okay, with such a person, do you think with if they introduce such a law, is it okay?
It's okay. It's okay.
And I think I also wanted to speak. That's only for child defilers, huh?
Yes.
But you know, basically, if a person that also, if they find that, I don't know if there's such a thing at first degree.
I think it's in general.
No, but maybe redundant because sometimes that maybe the case here maybe the girl pressure for banani.
Yeah.
But like if they just find you fear, you forced yourself to feel there is evidence that's very overwhelming. Please, I think that should also like apply.
Yeah.
Because people are taking advantage now. You know.
And I think if they did that, it would definitely reduce the number of these assault cases.
Yeah.
Because there's a way in which some of these things are handled, which is a bit disappointing.
Yeah.
Like the action towards the perpetrators and the way some of the victims are treated in some of these cases it doesn't seem to, be very just. Another point of interest with this whole thing, just on the other perspective, I'm thinking like some people are going to come out and argue to say, but ngabali kubepesha, that type of thing. Then also there are cases where there's no immediate reporting.
Yeah.
Let's say a crime happened maybe a year or 2 back.
Yeah.
Then you find
and then this case comes up and somebody alleges to say, oh, this person assaulted me. You get that kind of a report. Okay, because there are cases like that, but I think it's few and far between. They are not the norm. There are cases where maybe a parent might tell a child to say, oh, you tell them that this person did this and this to you.
Yeah.
In order to get back at that person. Right?
Yeah.
There are those instances.
Yeah.
So now in such an instance where the said event has already passed, the reporting comes a bit later. You know, that's
Yeah,
why I think it becomes
delay is nice.
becomes a bit tricky. Because now, anyway, I'm guessing there'll be measures anyway
There'll be measures.
to prove it. Because if you can prove that, to say that, okay, this is actually what happened, it just means the level of investigation needs to be thorough as well.
That's it.
Yes.
That's a good point. The level of investigation has to be now top notch now, because you shouldn't just do that to somebody
Yes.
who's innocent. Imagine
Yeah.
if innocent. Why would they know but no to
Okay. Instead of castrating you in Japan,
I think that's the only thing. The only thing I would say they need to do more work on, to say, okay, we need to have thorough systems and processes for certain instances where things are a bit hazy and not so clear. Yeah, but where it's a straight up situation, cut that.
Serious.
Cut him up.
Overwhelming evidence. Let's go.
Yeah, no, but
Let's go.
because I am a report.
So you're in agree that they should be cutting.
To reduce
Yes,
the number
yes.
of
You
those
know,
cases, right?
You know what I'm saying? Yes, to reduce the number of the cases, but also like Fianachal and First, you know, the brutality of these crimes, the injustice, the inhumanity. Like the story I mentioned earlier, I didn't just go into detail because it was a bit too graphic. So when you're dealing with an individual that level of savagery, I think my sympathy is gone.
Oh yeah.
The sympathy has to
My
go.
sympathy is gone.
I just don't
Like
find.
you damage that child. So now it's better to go now so that that gravity of what you've done sinks in.
So
But
it
I
should be
think-
50-50.
Hey,
It should be.
for that, especially like you're talking about children.
Yeah.
You
Don't you
know.
think I think, to be fair, just letting them go in for life in
No,
prison
No.
instead of cutting.
I
No,
think the
no.
better way is you
The
to
better way.
remember
Also, like
the mistake that you made.
yes, but as well, it's not. I think the other major factor with this, it's not just to make the perpetrator pay for their crime. It's a deterrent to would-be offenders. I think that is the most important thing, because when a crime has a stiffer punishment, people are more fearful of committing it. And as a result, it reduces those incidences happening. I think that's why that level of harshness or brutality is required. If we talk about murder, you know, somebody who's just stolen something, the sentence is different from a murder. And depending on the jurisdiction you're in, the country, place, or region you're in, and the law that is there, in certain places, if you murder somebody, it's established that you've murdered somebody, you get hanged, you get put to the electric chair. You know, I don't know if they still do those shooting, executing somebody by shooting, but I doubt. But they have those extra levels they go to show you that this is not something you should do. When you take a life, you must also equally be taken. Yours must be taken.
Yeah, like what surprises me, or what I always have in my mind, is like these guys are defiling young girls. If you look at an anatomy of a person, like when we're growing up, of course, Abane, especially a girl child, like if you look at the body, she's not yet ready.
Yeah.
She's not yet reached puberty. Then me, what I always think is like, where are you putting that your thing, Pamwan? Like,
and
where?
you know, at that small level, they all pretty much look the same. It's
Yes.
like, you know, boys, girls. So I think there are a lot of reasons and things that cause people to do that. There are a number of reasons. Some are psychologically disturbed. You know, they're not in the right mind. Some, of course, like the main thing would be psychological disturbance. Others is, you know, these nonsensical beliefs where they go to some of these witch doctors who, these fake witch doctors who give them all this funny,
if you do this,
yes, if you do this, and you know, they give them all this false information to say, oh, if you do this, your like in a few instances, I've heard like there are those rumors or those things they say like, if you do that, you, especially like somebody maybe who's got HIV or something, they'll tell them, oh, if you do this, you'll be cured of your HIV.
Oh, yay.
And so even in some of these cases, you find a lot. That's why now the kids also end up getting infected and whatnot. But that's just a few of the reasons, I think.
Yeah. So a person like that in society, it's definitely they're not fit to be around in society.
No.
Because we live with children. We even him, he definitely, I don't know if he does that to his own child or whatever to another child.
There are those that do them. There are those that do their own child. There are those that,
regardless whether it's another child,
yes.
the punishment should be the same.
Yes.
It should be that.
yeah.
The castration thing, I'm okay with that. Because when you go to that route, then I don't think you are needed in society.
Yeah.
You
True.
should be somewhere else.
Maybe they don't have the confidence of talking to older women.
Yeah,
Because I think we have such
it's
people that are
overconfidence.
like that.
They are there.
Yeah.
They're there. But I think with those, if
Somebody
they
finish
still
it.
go to a child, if they still go to a
Bro, there are people that don't have the confidence, even when there are ladies out there that charge for intercourse. Like, they'll be there feeling shy, bro.
First of all, you don't have a friend who you can.
I think for those kind of people, they typically they might go for younger, not necessarily children like toddlers and what's this per se, but they'll go for underage people. They'll go for maybe teenagers. Somebody who's 13,
someone they
14,
can easily
15.
control.
Yeah, somebody they can easily manipulate or get their way with, because somebody older who can challenge them and that type of thing. So to just kill all of that, you know. But it's weird. But I think the underlying thing is just you are not mentally sound, because we all have a responsibility to keep our environments and spaces safe.
True.
You know, so when you encounter such people, like, you need to let it be known that that's not tolerated. You know, and you distance yourself from such people, because that kind of behavior, it needs to come to an end.
Yeah, serious.
So bafunika chabe item out.
Gone.
Bagamba zona living without an item.
No, but in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
who's thinking
True.
about them?
Ijaive kulibena chani.
So mamvera chifundo.
Yeah.
Ijaive kulibena chifundo. Ngati kulichie mzako astache hivyo.
Vake afunika aenda section neva mjuu.
Sorry.
Yeah.